Hey guys, this is Andrew with Figure Fandom Review. Today we're going to be going over the S.H Figuarts Obito Uchiha Hollow Dreams of Despair figure. Right now, I think that Figuarts has been doing a great job so far with the Naruto lineups. Every one of them has been pretty decent. I really can't complain too much about a lot of them. This figure is pretty much of the same, to be fair, but we're going to go over a lot of the good and maybe some cons that I see that could possibly happen with this figure. But overall, a pretty solid release, so I'd love to get into it with you. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at him. Okay guys, now that we've got him off the stand, let's go ahead and take a look at the aesthetics first, and then we'll go into the articulation and pros and cons, my final thoughts, and so on. So right off the bat, I will tell you, disclaimer alert for those of you who are worried about it or it's a big deal, this figure does not appear to have any shading on it. I know for some people that if it doesn't have shading, it's a big deal and they don't like the figure at that point. I would prefer to have shading on my figure 100%, but for me it's not a deal breaker as long as the figure's articulation, primarily for what I do a lot of toy photography, as long as the articulation is good, or the sculpt work is clean, or the figure just functions well where it's not breaking apart and overall looks well, I'm fine. It doesn't have to have shading, but I know for some people that's important, so just want to let you guys know that yeah, this one doesn't appear to have any shading that at least I can see. That being said, the sculpt work on the figure and the painting that is on the figure is really good. So they did a great job. It's super clean. I mean, I really like just the overall look of the figure right out the box. I think they did a great job. The face is very vibrant, like the way his expressions are. So they did a pretty good job on that. So going over explaining what I'm talking about here. Just looking at the figure right there, the robe is sculpted pretty well, and you'll see what I'm talking about when we get to the back of the robe. It's actually kind of neat how they try to connect everything. But the robe is sculpted pretty good. His face, the sculpt work right there for his injury from when the rock fell on him is right there. I don't remember exactly. I know these are supposed to be like Hashirama cells, I believe, but the injury on his arm, it's actually, if you touch it, it's like segmented right here, so it's supposed to feel like maybe, I guess it's not naturally there, like another attachment onto his arm. So they did sculpt that on there, and the paint work on mine is pretty clean, so it looks really good from my end, at least. I don't know how everybody else's copies are, but it looks like I got a really good copy, and hopefully they're all coming like that from the factory. The Uchiha symbol is painted very well, very clean. And like that robe work, like I was explaining, so these are 3 separate pieces, right? So you have the back piece and the 2 side pieces of the robe that extend and wrap around him. They actually sculpted it so that it looks like it's all one piece. So the sculpt work here continues onto this other piece here. So if you're looking at the figure, it looks like this is all supposed to be one solid piece, even though it is 3 separate pieces. So nice attention to detail for them there. A lot of times we like to rip Figuarts and other toy manufacturers for the things they do wrong, but I feel that often we don't really give them enough credit for the things they do good. So good on them for that. Sculpt work right there. Overall, I'm really in love with the face of this figure, man. Like, it's really, really good. The faces that come in the package, which we'll go over in the accessories portion, is pretty good as well. So let's go ahead and get into the articulation of the figure, and I'll give you my thoughts on that. Let's go over the figure like we've been doing, head to toe. So right away, just give you a heads up. The head articulation is not that great on this figure, except for side to side. So he goes side to that way and that way, no problem. The problem is he's not going to be able to move his head back and forward very well, and that's due in part to him having this turtleneck here. It does not allow him and doesn't have much wiggle room for back and forward, but it does kind of pivot and tilt a little bit to the side, which is what's not really impeding him too much on his side to side motion. So not really great for back and forward, unfortunately. Now, his arms, however, oh man, his arms give him way more than 90. So he goes all the way up. He's trying to fly. He has bicep swivel on each arm. So there's that. He has 90 degrees at this arm, and on this arm, whew, yeah, he's got much greater than 90. So great job on that. His wrists are your typical Figuarts wrists. They're not really too great, so you're not going to get a whole lot of range out of them, but it's still, we've come to expect that with the line. Also, butterfly joint. Not bad on the butterfly joint. He can cross his arms. I'm just not, at least I had him crossing his arms earlier. There we go. Oh, never mind. But yeah, he's pretty close to crossing his arms. Great thing is, butterfly joint is actually the same color as a robe, which they've been doing lately, so good job to them. Whenever they do anything bad, we're quick to attack them, but we've got to remember to give them praise for when they do good things. So good job on them for that. His forward ab crunch is okay, not great, but it's it's acceptable. His back is not really that great at all, so that's about it. And that's in part because this whole piece right here is hard plastic, and if you try to bend this back and really force it and go down on there, you're going to crease or damage the top part. So just a heads up, just be careful. It really just is not going to go back much further than that for you. Let's see. So his legs are actually really good. Let's try to get his robe out the way. So gives you 90 with a thigh swivel, so not bad. It goes out greater than 90 as well, and back will give you there you go, about 90. So really good. Back here on his butt cheeks, they are a softer plastic. It's harder because it's creased right here. However, the problem is that if you really try to force it too much, you could possibly break this or crack this in some way. Like I said, it's a softer plastic, but it's not like this kind of soft. It's like in the middle. So there is that. Now on his legs, really cool feature, he has an actual, when I say ankle, I mean legit, like a ball hinge here in his ankle, so you can get a little bit more torque out of that, as well as an ankle rocker that's really not bad. So if you're looking for some real like ninja style, blade kicks, like, you can get it out of this character 100%. So I really do like that. I like this ankle a lot, man. Like, it's really good. And one thing they did good with the toe hinge is, in particular, like you see how his feet are there. Oops, my hands are blocking the light, and so is his robe. Okay, so sorry about that. You see his feet here. If you bend this down, it still looks pretty natural. Even from the side, it doesn't look too bad. So they did a really good job on just his feet and ankle, aesthetics, as well as articulation. He's very well thought out. Whoever was in charge of the R&D for this figure, give that man a raise, because this is really well done. So that's his articulation pretty much as a whole. Whoops, I'm about to make him fall. So we're gonna go ahead, there we go. We're gonna go ahead and go into his accessories now. So here we have the accessories that come with him. We'll start with the hands first. We have a jutsu hand, which looks like he's just completed a jutsu. We've got 2 grasping hands, left and right. We've got 2 finger pointing hands for both left and right. We've got 2 what can only be described as ninja getting ready for battle hands, which is the 2 fingers to your index and middle fingers pointing and the other fingers curled. And as well as we have 2 gripping hands for an effect accessory or a weapon accessory in the package, which I'll show you in a sec. Right here it is faces. We have 3 face plates for Obito, as well as 1 Naruto face plate, which is Naruto's Sage mode right here, teeth gritted, really nice. For Obito, we have what looks like a mischievous, like devious smirking face. We have a teeth gritted, angry or annoyed face, as well as we have what looks to be a fireball style face, like he's about to blow fireball jutsu. Now, the thing is, we don't have a fireball jutsu effect piece, unfortunately, but still, hey, we'll take it. It's better than not having another face at all. So, right here, this is pretty cool. We have the mask for when he was still going under the guise of Uchiha Madara. So with this, I love this because I love, like the mask is cool and everything. The headband moves so you can make it blowing in the wind. Really nice. The problem I have with it is that he should have right there a Sharingan, at least a small Sharingan painted right here so we could, have that eye, so when he has the mask on, you at least see the Sharingan. But they didn't paint that; they just have it in black all the way around. So missed opportunity, but still, hey, I'm not gonna gripe too much. I do wish they had done that though. So right here we have what looks to be the, I would say, chakra like submission rods that they would use like to stab into Naruto so he couldn't move and whatnot. Looks like he has that on his right and left hand right here, as well as his war fan, which is pretty cool right here. This is actually a metal, these are metal links, so that's pretty neat that they did that. So, not bad. Well guys, that wraps up our review of the S.H Figuarts Obito Uchiha. This is a really strong release from Tamashii. I really like this figure a lot. Aside from the head articulation and the waist articulation issues, I think this is a pretty strong release from them. If I were to give it a rating, for me, it's a 9 out of 10. Those issues are there, however, I do feel that I can overlook them because of just the overall aesthetic of the figure, the articulation in other areas, which is superb. Just, the accessory pieces it comes with, I do like it overall, and I feel it's a pretty strong release for them, especially for their Naruto line, which is so far hasn't disappointed me yet. So really looking forward to what they do with more figures for this lineup. If you are new to my channel, please comment down below, give your opinion on figures you like, figures you'd like to see reviewed. I do read the comments and I do like to respond to you guys, and I do enjoy the passion that we all bring for these figures. So that being said, please go ahead, have a safe day, and keep collecting.